Episode 36, here we go. Horse race bets with me, Ken Rudolph. A lot coming up this week and also coming up this weekend. And it's a chance for us to play the ultimate Nostradamus, right? Because we want to talk about what's happening this weekend as we have another chance to kind of determine what's going to happen on Kentucky Derby Saturday. And it's the Kentucky Derby Future Wager Pool. Pool number 5 opens up on Friday, shuts down on Sunday. It's also going to have, for the first time, the Oaks futures will be in there as well, and you can play an Oaks Derby double in like a future wager there. And the concept with this is you're trying to get better odds now than you would get race day. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've only played future wagers a few times, maybe 3-4 times in the past. The first one I did was 2004, a future wager on Giacomo. Giacomo was considered a prime prospect at that time, or contender, so he was 25 to 1. But then he couldn't win any of his prep races, so he kept floating up in odds. And then by the time we got to race day, as we all know, he was 50 to 1. So I want you to take a look at what's happening and with the odds. I want you to go back to pool number 4 and the way things looked when it closes to kind of give you an idea of what you're trying to do. All right, so here's what it looked like. So you had Barnes, who was 8 to 1 at that time. This is before he lost his last race. You see Built in there at 43 to 1, Burnham Square 15 to 1, Chancellor McPatrick 23 to 1. Those horses are going to go up. Citizen Bull, that 9 to 1 might be nice if you were locked in on that, because I don't think you're going to get that high of a price on Citizen Bull come race day, especially if he wins the Santa Anita Derby, like I'm pretty sure he will. Coal Battle, that's interesting. If you got Coal Battle at 58 to 1, there's no way you're getting that Derby day if that horse makes it to the race. I actually did lock in on Disco Time. For pool number 4, he's at 30 to 1. My feeling is that if he progresses and makes it into the gate, he's not going to be that big of a price on race day. Take a look at the next group of runners. You see some runners that have really fallen off right now. Ferocious, First Resort, just not even in the conversation. Gaming, we don't know what that horse is going to do. But Getaway Car. So Getaway Car was locked in at 50 to 1. You don't remember, the last pool, it closed before they ran the Sunland Derby. And Getaway Car was able to win that race. So he locked in at 50 to 1. Obviously, winning that race brings his odds down. And if he wins again this weekend in the Virginia Derby, you know the odds will come down. And if that horse gets into the gate on Derby Day, there's no way he's going to be 50 to 1 with the way that he has performed and the toughness that he has shown on the front end. So that's a very, very interesting one. There you see also John Hancock in there at 21 to 1. That's interesting as well. So your point is you're just trying to find value, enhanced value, that you would not be able to get day of race. Take a look at Journalism there, who's probably going to be your favorite when this whole thing is over with this particular pool in the future wager. He's locked in at 19 to 1 back in pool number 4. If he continues the way he's going, there's no way you get that on Derby Day. Take a look at other runners in here as well. And so that's kind of the whole concept, is finding ways to get enhanced value that you would not be able to get day of. So take a look at the rest of your runners and then all other 3-year-olds, your favorite, at 9 to 2. So don't forget, that's going to close out. This is the closing odds for pool 4 to give you an idea as to what it looks like when it closes, right? Pool 5 opens up on Friday, closes on Sunday. And the thing about this is really, really important is you have to understand that it's kind of a one-shot deal. There are no refunds on the future wager. So if your horse scratches or you decide, I changed my mind, it's not going to work out. You can't change it. There's no refunds. You're locked in. So like if Disco Time doesn't make it to the race, that's $10 that I've lost. It was a $10 future wager because I thought I'd get great odds. So that's how we deal with that. Okay? That's what's coming up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can get those in. Don't forget the Oaks, and of course the Oaks Derby double, you can do future wager as well. Have it kind of locked in so you don't have to worry about it. And it saves money for you because when you come to Derby Day, you're going to want to play a bunch of different wagers, right? You want to play the Oaks Derby double, you want to play exactas, This is kind of saving you money because you're not spending that money day of at the track. All right, speaking of money, let's get some money here on this Wednesday. We got to find a way to crack that nut at Turfway Park. They've got themselves the late pick 5 coming up. Now, we're going to play it for $2 because we feel like we don't need to use a tremendous amount of horses. And we've got some singles, 3 singles, in fact. Trust me, I tried to get it down to even more because I felt like, well, here's the thing at Turfway. It's crazy, and I'm quite positive that if I were to talk to you after my pick 5 plays at Turfway Park, there would definitely be a rider that I'd be cursing. Because the thing that I don't understand about a lot of it, and I understand almost everything about horse racing, is how you can have a horse that performed well the last 2 times, then they get to this particular race and they're last. I'm like, what? What happened to you? And who do I blame for that, right? That's got to be a training problem or a jockey problem. It can't be anything other than that. So anyway, let's just move on. Race 6 at when it's all going to start. That's later on in the evening, 8:25 p.m. Eastern, 5:25 p.m. Pacific. 1, 2, and 7. Dr. Bella's a really nice closer there on the inside, and I think that runner's going to get a nice setup. But here's the thing. There's not a tremendous amount of speed, so I feel like the 2 with Bellaria and my man Fernando de la Cruz, who is absolutely incredible, he's going to probably force the pace because there's no real clear speed horse in this race. You do have the 3, Blessed Life, and that horse might challenge the 2, but I don't care it. You're not going to outride Fernando de la Cruz. It's just not going to happen. And then the 4, Sweet Baby Ray, has some speed as well. So if they do go out there, it could set up beautifully for the 1 off the pace, or mainly the 7, Ligea. The 7 has a nice little turn of foot, can make some things happen, and Sophie Doyle is a really good rider, and I think they'll be in the right spot in that race. The only horse that I'm worried about is the 8, but I just don't want to use the horse. I don't want to spend the extra money. That sounds crazy, right? I just don't want to do it. Race 7, 6.5 furlong. We single Cog. Cog should be in the right place to run them down. So this is what I'm talking about. The horse ran back-to-back, December and then January. Won both of those by 4 and then by 6 lengths. Then moved up just a hair in condition and then ends up running 4th last time out. I was like, what? I'm hoping they get back into it today. That would be really great. Then race number 8. Because they have scratched some runners out, right? The 3 has been scratched, and specifically the 7, Doro Road, is scratched from that race. So I think the 1, Sally's Gold, has everything that they need. Now, here's the problem. Sally's Gold is an easy favorite in race number 8, and there shouldn't be any issue whatsoever. But this is why Turfway Park drives people crazy. This horse is probably going to run last today. And I'm going to be like, what the absolute flip are you doing? But you can't deal with that. You just have to say, this is still the best horse in the race, and I don't see anyone else winning. So you just move on, and then you just curse the riders and the trainers after that. That's what we do on our off time. Race number 9, I could not whittle it down. Mile and a 16th claiming event, so many talented horses. So I go 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. My top pick in here is probably the 8, Attaboy Anthony, who's got some kind of pressing speed, but also has a decent closing kick. And so I think they're going to be in the right spot to run them down. Then, hey, we get back to business with our single. The 2nd or the 3rd of our singles is in race number 10. Probably the worst place to single because race 10 is usually when all of the madness takes place. But Holy Bell really ran a great race last time out. Just missed, beaten by a half length. And now they put the blinkers on for the first time for Christopher Davis, Sophie Doyle in the irons. I just want to keep it simple. I like that horse, and I'm just going to play that. And the beauty of this is, if we are right, you only have to be right one time at Turfway Park. And if we're right, we played it for $2, so we're going to maximize the return on investment. And if we're wrong, we only lost $30. That's not too shabby, right? It's not too shabby. All right. That's how we get things going on a Wednesday, trying to build that bankroll as we make our way into another exciting weekend of action coming up here. We said this week we'd focus on 3 tracks: Turfway Park, Colonial Downs, Oaklawn. So now we're jumping in here on Turfway Park, and hopefully everything works out. All right, that's going to do it for us. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, I'm Ken Rudulph here on Horse Race Bets. We will see you then. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.